This is Plummer football. Give it everything.
Colorado football 2025, can Deion Sanders deliver? The Colorado Buffaloes enter the 2025 season facing a daunting challenge. After an impressive 9-3 record last year, Coach Prime must now rebuild without two of his biggest stars, Shedeur Sanders, the Johnny Unitas award-winning quarterback, and Travis Hunter, the electrifying Heisman Trophy winner. Their departures, along with other key losses on both sides of the ball, leave Colorado with more questions than answers. Yet, if anyone thrives under pressure, it's Deion Sanders. With a revamped roster and a fresh quarterback battle between Liberty transfer Kaidon Salter and five-star freshman Julian Juju Lewis, the Buffaloes are looking to maintain their momentum. But will they still command the same star power? Despite the roster shakeup, Colorado has sold out home games for a third consecutive season, proving that Coach Prime's influence extends beyond the field. The spotlight remains, but can Coach Prime turn hype into wins once again? The journey begins now. Major losses and concerns for Colorado in 2025. If the spring game was any indication, the Buffaloes have reason to be concerned offensively. The offense under Kaidon Salter and Julian Lewis lacked the confidence, explosiveness, and deep ball threat that defined Shedeur Sanders and his throwing targets. The departure of three NFL-caliber wide receivers, Travis Hunter, LeJohntay Wester, and Jimmy Horn Jr., leaves a massive void in the passing game. Adding to the challenge, Colorado also lost the size and presence of Will Sheppard, making it difficult to replace the experience and chemistry that fueled last season's success. The running back room faces uncertainty as well. With Isaiah Augustave no longer with the program, Dallin Hayden is expected to take the lead role, but his struggles finding gaps last season make him a wait-and-see prospect. Meanwhile, Michael Welch has emerged as the most elusive back, showcasing an unpredictable running style that allows him to find holes where none seem to exist. On defense, the secondary, once a strength, has taken a hit. Losing Travis Hunter, along with safeties Shiloh Sanders and Cameron Silman-Craig, means Colorado must replace Hunter's playmaking ability, 4 interceptions last season, and the physicality Sanders and Silman-Craig brought to the field. At linebacker, the Buffaloes lost their best enforcer in Nikhai Hill-Green, who transferred to Alabama. His stone-cold hits and presence will be tough to replicate. The defensive front also saw key departures, including Chidozie Nwankwo, BJ Green, Taji McCoy, and Dayon Hayes. However, Colorado's defensive line should remain solid despite these losses. The question remains, can Coach Prime and his staff fill these gaps effectively and keep the Buffaloes competitive in 2025? The answers will unfold as the season kicks off. Impact players added from the portal. Colorado's offense will hinge on Kaidon Salter, the ultimate X factor for the Buffaloes. If he can reclaim the electric form he showcased at Liberty in 2023, expect this squad to make serious noise in the Big 12. But let's temper expectations. This won't be another top 10 offense like the Shedeur Sanders-led unit of 2024. At wide receiver, Joseph Williams from Tulsa is already proving his worth. With a strong showing in the spring game and growing chemistry with Salter, he's poised to leapfrog some names and carve out a starting role alongside Omarion and Drelon Miller. Another name to watch is Sincere Brown from FCS program Campbell. Standing at 6'5", he's a red zone threat and could step in to fill the void left by Will Sheppard as a reliable possession receiver. The offensive line is undergoing another major overhaul, and this time, it's built for brute strength. The smallest lineman, Zarian McGill from Louisiana Tech, and he's still an imposing 6'2", 308 pounds. He'll be joined by Jordan Seaton, the only returning standout, alongside newcomers Zylan Chrysler, Illinois, Xavier Hill, Memphis, and Aki Ogunbiyi, Texas A&M. With nowhere to go but up after last season's struggles in the run game, the Buffaloes need this unit to step up in 2025 because they won't have the luxury of an explosive passing attack to bail them out. At tight end, Zach Atkins from Northwest Missouri State might emerge as a valuable security blanket for Salter. While history suggests he's more of a safety valve than a true game changer, his presence could be a stabilizing force in key situations. The Buffaloes' defense will find its strength in the trenches, with an interior defensive line stacked with depth. Jaheim Otis, Alabama, and Tavion Coleman, Texas State, are expected to lead the charge up front, giving Colorado a formidable presence in the middle. Emerging talents like Anquin Barnes and Tawfik Thomas could find themselves battling for third-string spots, proof of how deep this unit truly is. Gavriel Lightfoot, Fresno State, adds even more depth, ensuring fresh legs rotate throughout the season. At linebacker, confidence is harder to come by. Transfers Reginald Hughes, Jacksonville State, and Martavius French, UTSA, may be the starting duo, but both are making the leap to Power 4 competition. That transition means they'll be thrown thrown straight into the fire, and whether they rise to the challenge depends on how well they adjust. If the defensive line plays up to its potential, Hughes and French could benefit greatly, giving them the freedom to focus on tracking down ball carriers without getting swallowed up in the trenches. The secondary remains solid despite some key departures, thanks to experienced defenders across the board. One exciting newcomer is Tawfiq Bayard, South Florida, whose aggressive style and strong instincts will help fill the void in physicality on the back end. His presence should bring a much-needed edge to the defense. Overall, defensive coordinator Robert Livingston has the talent to keep this unit competitive. The defensive front looks strong, the secondary has experience, but linebacker play remains the biggest question. If Hughes and French can step up, Colorado could have a defense capable of holding its own in the Big 12. Colorado's incoming class features some promising young stars who could make an impact early, shaping the Buffalo's success in 2025. First up is Julian Juju Lewis, the highly touted freshman quarterback. To start the season, he'll likely be waiting in the wings, but every backup knows you're only one play away from stepping into the spotlight. If Kaidon Salter struggles early, don't expect Coach Prime to hesitate in turning to the true freshman phenom. Lewis has all the tools to develop into an elite signal caller, and Coach Prime has never shied away from trusting high school standouts who prove they belong. On the defensive side, London Merritt, the former Ohio State commit, is expected to play a role immediately. This defensive end's explosiveness off the snap and ability to pressure quarterbacks will earn him a spot in the rotation on what looks to be another ferocious Buffalo's defensive front. His skill set is simply too impactful to keep off the field. Then there's Quinnell Farrakhan Jr., a wide receiver whose presence is impossible to overlook. He's got the size to contribute right away, and having been on campus since January, he's put in the work to earn his shot. Farrakhan Jr. has that undeniable playmaker's edge, making him another weapon for Salter in what is shaping up to be a very talented receiving core. These freshman phenoms aren't here to wait, they're here to play. If the opportunity comes, expect them to seize it and make an immediate impact on Colorado's season. The Buffaloes enter the 2025 season facing skepticism, despite finishing in a four-way tie for first place in the Big 12 last year. The departure of Shedeur Sanders and 3 drafted receivers has cast doubt over Colorado's offensive firepower, and understandably so. Replacing elite talent, 2 of whom will be forever remembered at Folsom Field, won't be easy. The preseason projections reflect this uncertainty. Sports Illustrated, ESPN, and 247 Sports all rank Colorado 10th in the Big 12 out of 16 teams. ESPN predicts a 6-5 finish, which would secure bowl eligibility but eliminate any hopes of a conference title or playoff run. It's a slight improvement to last year, when before the season experts expected the Buffaloes to finish near the bottom alongside BYU, only for Colorado to impress everyone with a 9-3 regular season record. Here's the reality. Predictions are just numbers on paper. The games are won on the field, where momentum shifts and unexpected stars emerge. The Buffaloes have proven before that they can rise above expectations, and with a roster hungry to prove itself, don't be surprised if they do it again. For Colorado, the 2025 season isn't just about replacing stars, it's about redefining how the program builds its identity. Without the luxury of generational talents like Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, the Buffaloes must now rely on a more balanced, system-driven approach, placing greater emphasis on coaching and player development. That's where Pat Shurmur and Robert Livingston become invaluable. Shurmur's ability to craft an offense tailored to Kaidon Salter's strengths will be pivotal in avoiding stagnation on that side of the ball. Meanwhile, Livingston faces the tall task of reinforcing a defense that suffered several key departures, relying on depth and strategic adjustments rather than sheer star power. These 2 coordinators aren't just leading their respective units, they're shaping the very foundation of Colorado's future. But at the heart of it all is Deion Sanders, navigating the relentless pressures of the transfer portal era. As a celebrity coach, he isn't just expected to win, he's expected to do it in spectacular fashion, all while maintaining his program's relevance in an ever-changing landscape. Patchwork recruiting through the portal has its risks, and Coach Prime must not only fill the gaps left by departed playmakers, but ensure his team gels in time to make a serious run in the Big 12. Still, if history has proven anything, it's that Deion Sanders thrives when the odds are stacked against him. Colorado might be without its former superstars, but its culture remains intact, driven by a coaching staff ready to adapt, rebuild, and prove the skeptics wrong once again. The challenge is clear. The season is set. Now it's time to see if Coach Prime can defy expectations once more. That's a wrap on today's breakdown. The road ahead for Colorado football is full of twists and turns, but one thing is certain, Coach Prime and his staff aren't backing down from the challenge. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and as always, give it everything.